What's up, guys? Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group. March 11th, another really good day. So far, March has been filled with really good action. Mostly in part probably because of this BPTH. The moves that this stock has made over the last 2 weeks has been pretty crazy, pretty wild, and has given us a lot of opportunities. If you follow my channel and you saw my video I posted last week, when I traded BPTH, I had my biggest day of the year so far, and I came back and I traded BPTH again today for another solid move. This stock gives you such great action. The liquidity is fantastic. The range on it's amazing. Very high volatility stock, but with that high volatility comes a potential of high reward. And today I'm just going to walk you through all my trades. I made 3 trades today, 1 loser, 2 winners. And maybe one thing that we can talk about is my one loss was on a tier 1 position. So really focused there on keeping my loss small on that. It was on GLBS, and then I came back. And it was funny because when I made the first loss on GLBS when I was in the tier 1, I didn't really like anything off the open. I mean, I had a bunch of stocks that I was looking at pre-market because they were making some noise, but off the bell, a lot of them kind of died out pretty quickly. So I wasn't really too overly confident in GLBS. That's why I started with the tier 1. And then when I took the loss, I kind of regressed and went back into defensive mode a little bit. But then I was getting screaming signals on MCRB. And then we had a really nice setup on BPTH. And I'm just going to walk you through all 3 of those trades with this video. Let's start with GLBS. It was my first trade of the day, and it was for a loss. Okay, so here we have GLBS with the big gap up, gets everybody excited. Okay, everybody gets excited on the big gap up on GLBS. The shippers, I'm not a big fan of them, but they have been known to make big moves. So usually when they get a gap up, they get a lot of attention. And the first thing I noticed on the gap up was that we had resistance here at VWAP. Okay, here you can see resistance 1, 2, 3 times. We tried, failed, pulled it in. And then what I started to see was a potential double bottom gap up right here where the low of the day, that previous low held right here on this little bounce, and the trade line came right up into play right there. So what I did here, gang, I just jumped in on a tier 1 position, okay, on GLBS, and I was going to add tier 2 if we broke up and through VWAP, because VWAP previously showed us an area of resistance. I'll take you to my trade announcements. Here you guys can see at 949, long at tier 1 at 699, stop loss 660. I'm going to add tier 2 through the 790, which was the VWAP area. And then you can see at 1008, I sold out of the tier 1 at 660. We just were not able to go break out and above through VWAP, and I stopped out of that tier 1 position on that break through the low of the day. Okay, so that was the idea. That's what I was looking for. There's the tier 1. Tier 1's a little bit lower, actually. It was right at 699. So here's my tier 1. I'm looking to add tier 2 up through this area. Through VWAP, we never got it, rolled it over, and I sold out of the tier 1 position. So started the day off with a loss, but it was a small loss. Tier 1's about 25% of my desired position size, anywhere between 20 to 25%. And then my tier 2 is usually at least double, sometimes more, when I add to the position. So that was the first trade of the day. Took a loss there. Then we go back. My next trade, MCRB. MCRB was solid. This was a beautiful TTG triangle pattern. I don't think I've talked about a TTG triangle in a little while on the channel here. But this was a damn good one. Okay, you can see we had a high of the day get put in right here. And when we broke through that high of the day, you saw really nice volume. By far the heaviest volume the stock had traded all morning on that break through the high. Steady, strong, consistent volume, exactly what you want to see when a stock breaks through the high of the day. The stronger and more consistent the volume on the break, the greater chance you have of that previous high acting as an area of support. And that is exactly what we got here on MCRB. Okay, then you can see as we kind of bounce off this level, you put in a little bit of a downtrend resistance line here. There's your TTG triangle pattern. We break up and out Oh, I'm sorry. The other thing I want to point out to you, actually, guys, is the decreasing volume inside the triangle. So you see you had huge volume through the high of the day. Then you get the pullback. You had decreasing volume during this moment of consolidation, which is exactly what you want to see. You want to see strong volume on the way through, decreasing volume on the pullback consolidation, and then you once again want to see strong volume on the way through. Okay, so here's a TTG triangle pattern. I'll take you back to my trade announcements. Here you guys can see long MCRB at 735. Okay, that's at 10:30. So we'll go back. Right here is my entry on MCRB. And you can see, bang, we get the breakout through the highs. Back to my trade announcements. Took some profit 774. Took more off at 807 as we extended to new highs. Okay, so I took some off right here. And then I took more off right here. And I held on to one last piece, as you guys can see here, just to see if we extended a little bit further up to like 850 was kind of what I was looking for on this last piece, on the last piece of this trade. And that's kind of what I was aiming for there with that move. But you can see we rolled it over, pulled back in, and I ended up selling out of the last final piece as we broke down here below VWAP. Okay. So that was a TTG triangle pattern on the MCRB. That one was, full size position. That was a nice trade. And that's the thing, man, is like, as long as you can keep your losing trade small, all it takes is one winner, and it puts you well into the green. Next, we've got BPTH. We were stalking this BPTH all day. All day we were just kind of putting in this like consolidation wedge looking pattern. And then coming out of lunchtime, we were looking to see if we were going to possibly get another squeeze as we were trying to hold a VWAP. And right out of lunchtime, okay, 2 o'clock is when lunchtime typically ends. I got long BPTH right in here. It's a little bit more clear on a 5-minute chart. So I'm going to take you guys down to a 5-minute chart because this is kind of where I started to see the pattern. When I was looking at the 5-minute chart, I just started to realize we kind of had this little mini wedge flag that was forming right above VWAP. Okay, you can see we were holding support at VWAP, and I said to myself, you know what? If this thing continues to hold and we just flag here above VWAP after we broke through it, you had a little increase in volume when we broke through VWAP, and then it held support, and just developed this little flag pattern. So I got long right on this little move here up and out of this flag at 29.14. Okay, let's go back to the 3-minute chart. I just wanted to show you the 5-minute because it becomes more clear when you look at it on a 5-minute, and that's why it's important to use multiple time frames, because sometimes a chart pattern will be a lot more clear on one time frame versus the other. So I use the 5-minute to develop this trade idea and to see that pattern. So let's go back to the 3-minute now. Okay, so there's the entry. Go back to my trade announcements. I had to break it up into two. You guys can see long BPTH at 29.14, stop loss down to 27.50. Okay, my stop loss was going to be just below VWAP. Okay, VWAP was at like 28.25. Very volatile stock. I'm giving it, the room that it needs. Stop loss down to 27.50. Okay, so there's the entry at 29.14. Took some off at 31.46 just a couple minutes later. And then a half hour after my entry, I sold the bulk of my position all the way up at 33 as we got up to test the highs of the day. Okay, there is the bulk of my position that I took. Well, here's the first one. First take profit, second take profit, and I held on to one last piece and dropped it right on into that red candle right there for a final take profit at 37.48. I was looking, guys, this BPTH, this 33 to 34 level was pretty big. Okay, it was big in the sense that we had, today's high of the day was at 33. Okay, so you can see once we broke through that high of the day, real nice strong increase in volume. You get the pullback, you get the retest, and then bang, you get the follow through extension move. Okay, to give you a little bit more. And then you can see this was also an area that the stock had trouble with. Okay, on Friday, you see that little double top kind of resistance point there. Friday on BPTH. So this level was kind of important, and I kind of had a feeling that if we got through it, we were going to see a little bit of a squeeze type action. We've still got about 12 minutes before the close. You can see we're still trying to hold above this $33 level. Will be interesting to see if BPTH closes like this. This could be, you know, a gap up and another short squeeze type move tomorrow. If you get this type of move, because that'll show you shorts kind of scrambling into the close, not wanting to hold a position overnight. We're going to test this here before the close. We still have plenty of time left to test this $33 level again. You have a nice little downtrend line you can draw across these. You know, if you break above that, you might squeeze back up towards highs, and maybe that'll give you a gap up tomorrow. Get the shorts kind of on the run a little bit. So we'll be interested to see how that plays out. But I just wanted to go over these trades with you guys. It was a nice day. March is turning out to be just fantastic. I mean, the action is great. And time again, the action has proven to us that you know, if you have a bad day, or if you missed BPTH last week, or you missed another runner, guys, don't get upset. I mean, honestly, just go over the trade, see where you went wrong, come back the next day ready to rock and roll, because the action has been fantastic. There's been tremendous opportunity. More than one name, okay, is making really nice moves. You just got to stay focused and just be excited, because this is the time that you want to be pushing, when you're getting good follow through, you're getting good liquidity, you're getting great range. So far March has been fantastic. So let's hope that continues. I'll see you guys. Oh, tomorrow's TGD Tuesday. For those that don't know, I opened the True Trading Group chat room on every Tuesday, free for everybody. So if you want to come in and join me live, see my screen, see what I'm doing, hear me on the microphone. I go over my trade analysis before I enter, while I'm in it, and when I'm getting out of the trade. I walk you guys through all my trades step by step, the analysis, what I'm thinking, and everything. There's a pullback on BPTH. But yeah, if you want to come in and check it out for free, you can go to www.truetradinggroup.com. Upper right-hand corner, you'll see TGD Tuesday. Click on that, register, and you will get a link that'll give you access to the chat room tomorrow for free. Okay? Shoot me a private message in chat. Say what's up. Let me know you're from the YouTube channel. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right? I'll see you in chat tomorrow. Take care.